name is Brooke, and I'm here today with my team, Frank and Aaron, to talk to you about Enterprise. On today's agenda, we will be going over their building blocks and their core building block. We will also be listing out Enterprise's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We'll also identify Enterprise's strategic concerns that they may see in the future and what they're currently dealing with. And we'll also present recommendations for Enterprise moving forward with their business opportunities. First, we'll talk about one of their core building blocks, which is Arena. They actually have a major presence in airports, which is a big bonus for them with their rental car service. And they also have 5,600 offices around the U.S., which are all located within 15 miles of 90% of the population. Their next building block and their core building block is quality. They have been in Business Week's list of customer service champs for 4 years running. They have also been in the top J.D. Power rental car service survey for 10 out of the 12 years. They have won this category. And they've also received in the top J.D. Power the 2014 Customer Survey Champion ranking. They've also been, for 2015, the TripAdvisor's favorite car rental service and Traveler's Choice Award. They are also been in the Entrepreneur magazine of 2014 and been the top 120 trusted brands. And this year they're actually having their 50th anniversary, and they're doing a tree pledge challenge where they currently have 10 million out of 50 million trees that they plan to plant this year.
So now we're going to be looking at strengths, and one of their largest strengths is their presence in airports. They have locations all over the country. They even have one in Nashville, I'm pretty sure. So besides that, they have great customer service. Their main focus is on customer service, and they've won dozens of awards regarding customer service. But probably their biggest strength, at least in regards to what we're talking about, is that they offer the limited ride sharing. And by being really one of the first rental car companies to do this, they have this sort of already inherent strength in the industry. To weaknesses, they have this large fleet of aging, underused cars, and as a result, because of maintenance issues and breakdowns, they are losing a lot of potential revenue. And so another major weakness is that they're only focused on really the rental car industry right now, and while the rental car industry is a good area to be focused on, it means that they're vulnerable to any potential threat that could occur in that industry. And then they also have a centralized command. In fact, they're only headquartered in Minneapolis. And as a result, even though they have all these locations in all these countries around the world, they can't really have like a true international focus because they're still ultimately incorporated here in the United States. So opportunities. There's two major opportunity areas, social and technological. And in terms of social opportunities, the average rider length is increasing, so that's increasing the ability for customers to really experience the product, and it's also increasing revenue just by renting out the cars longer. But also, a really major thing is that in this ride-sharing service, millennials are mainly using it, and millennials like to share their experiences online. So this is going to provide them with a massive opportunity to expand their overall like word-of-mouth presence. And then technological opportunities, they're partnering with Uber, and by partnering with Uber, they're sort of on this cutting edge, and they really are the first car company to do anything like this. So they have a great introduction to the market, and it's really getting them a foot in the door. Now, moving on to threats. In terms of threats, there's these ride-sharing companies like Car2Go and Uber, and they're both kind of cutting into the overall revenue, and they provide this sort of inherent external market that they will always be competing with. And another major problem or threat from the outside is that Lyft itself is partnering with Hertz, and Lyft is Uber's main competitor, and Hertz is Enterprise's main competitor. So it's sort of creating like this almost parallel rivalry in the industry. Now, other car rental companies can also follow suit. I mean, there's really nothing barring them from doing this outside of maybe opportunities and funds. So if they ultimately wanted to, they could get into this market, and that could cause a major divide. Now, There could also be the problem of this being a temporary fad. I mean, this is a really young industry, and for all we know, ride sharing could just be like a trendy thing with millennials that will completely phase out in the next few years as it just loses popularity. And then finally, there's gas prices, and the higher gas prices get, the less you're going to make off of this sort of inherently, and the less people are going to use it because they don't want to spend the extra money in order to have to use all these services with the higher gas prices. So for strategic concerns, a really major one is that taxi drivers can be impersonal and inexperienced. So besides that, they can also be really expensive, and that's especially true at airports, which is one of their major areas that they operate from. And then Uber drivers have no ties with the business directly, and as a result, it can be really difficult to determine their actual reliability beyond just online ratings or customer review ratings. And then Enterprise also has a strong airport presence already. So like I said before, this is just going to be a major concern for them inherently because of all this airport presence, and most of their concerns coming from like the additional costs and inexperienced drivers. We remedy these strategic concerns by leveraging your large airport presence by providing driver services for members. And by providing driver services for members, you can ensure your long-term survival, and it provides you with a lot of opportunities to move forward, especially as rideshare becomes more accessible to customers.
The main recommendation going forward would be to leverage this rideshare presence and make it Enterprise's own company. By offering a membership-based pickup and drop-off service to and from the airports, they can offer huge benefits to heavy travelers. Also, they can give membership plans that will fit most customers. These can be basic plans or premium plans based upon the frequency of flight or travel or the amenities they're looking for. So why would Enterprise want to do this? Well, Enterprise already has a major customer service presence. Everyone is rating them really high, so this puts them far ahead of other potential ride-sharing companies. Also, they can make these unused cars that they have just sitting around, put them back into business and make them start generating money. So how do the vehicles become profitable? So we'll throw some numbers together and say, based upon a 20-mile one-way drive for either a taxi or a rideshare or Enterprise, which is about a 30-minute drive. This comes out to about an hour for a rideshare to drop someone off and then come back. So for a taxi from an airport, the initial rate is $70 plus 20 miles at about $2.10 per mile can cost the average customer about $50. For the Uber drive of the same distance, the low cost is $27. The original rates could be up to $70, and for a full-size SUV is about $105 for that 30-minute trip. So Enterprise vehicles can become profitable. So let's say that the Enterprise for the drop-off and pickup service pay their drivers $13 an hour. And the gas for about a 40-mile round trip is $7, give or take, depending on the type of vehicle. The administrative costs can't really speculate on now, but would be fairly low on a per-hour basis. So, with a customer rate of about $1.50 per mile, the customer would only be paying $30 total. And with each car only costing about $20 to operate within that amount of time, the car is generating about $10 an hour, which is a 33% profit margin. Comparing this to other Enterprise services, such as their rideshare, which the absolute best rate you can get for that is for a 1 hour use, which is only $8 an hour. Comparatively, their main rental service has the lowest rate of $30 per day for a compact car, which only comes out to about $1.25 per hour for that vehicle. The highest rate is $150 per day for their high-end SUVs, and that's still only $6.25 an hour. So that would make this Enterprise ride-sharing service to and from the airport the most profitable per car business they would have. So who would want to use this service? Well, there's actually a pretty large arena. It could be those who live in large cities and don't own cars, which is fairly common. People who don't want to pay to park in expensive airport extended stay parking. People who don't want to just leave an empty driveway announcing that their house is basically empty for long periods of time. People who don't want to burden friends or family members with drives to or from the airport at 2 a.m. in the morning or just really late at night. Also, it could be for people who prefer a more professional experience than someone just picking them up in their car on their off time, or a taxi service who they're only concerned with their next fare. Now, and most importantly for a lot of business travelers, it is timely pickups and drop-offs. You would already have the company planned to come and pick you up at a specific time. They would know the route, they would already have it in to get to where you are and where you want to be. So it would cut down on travel time. You wouldn't have to make the call and then just hope that they're in the area to get to you as fast as you want them to. And so moving forward, this allows the business or enterprise an opportunity to kind of have a test arena for the ride sharing. And if it's successful, they could leverage their many locations all throughout the US as hubs for ride sharing and grow their business into a ride sharing business where they can travel and take people pretty much anywhere. And thank you, and that is our presentation and recommendation.
So in conclusion, enterprise can leverage their core building block of quality to take advantage of the opportunities currently available in the ride-sharing segment. They can do this by offering competitive rates along with their unmatched service. It is suggested that they begin with their current airport locations, but after monitoring the potential successes here, it could justify expanding out into other locations.